In this video, I'm going to be telling you the best things to get in the first sea. Sadly, a lot of players quit in the first sea because grinding is slow and repetitive, and it feels like there's nothing to do. But that's because they don't have the right things. So I'll break down the best items to get in the first sea in one full guide, so you know exactly what's worth it and what isn't. Let's get into it. One of the most important things in the first sea is the fruit you choose, so it's really important to pick a good one. There are lots of fruits in the game. Some of the more flashy ones look really cool, but you need a lot of mastery for that, which is not good for new players because it makes grinding much slower. So in the first sea, you need to have fruits that are easy to use, do good damage, help you level up fast, and have elemental immunity. Alright, so I'm going to be showing you some of the fruits that you need to use, and these are my stats. Of course, I'm not going to put everything into fruits, because if I do that, then I'm just going to one-shot all the NPCs. So I'm going to just put these amount of stats. Alright, so we have Flame. Flame is really good. It does pretty good damage. It has good range, and you can easily get a lot of NPCs together with this fruit, and it's just really good in general. And the V move has a lot of AoE, which is really good. And you can also fly, which is always a plus. And the last thing that's really good about this fruit, it has elemental immunity, which is really good for grinding. A fruit we all know and love is the light fruit. I think light fruit is literally one of the most popular fruits in the game. It's actually quite flashy, and it's fast, and it does good damage. The skills are very varied, and you don't need a lot of mastery to use it. Like literally the first move, you don't need any mastery to use it. Plus, you can fly really fast, which is super helpful because you can just fly to islands really quickly. One bonus is you can escape from anyone. Like for example, just look at this. I'm literally escaping this guy. Okay, now we have ice. Personally, I think ice is one of the most underrated elemental fruits. For example, you have elemental immunity. It also comes with a weapon, just like light, which gives you extra range. You literally have an M1. Second, the moves have pretty good range. All the moves have pretty good range and do pretty decent damage. Some of your moves actually freeze the NPCs, which is actually super helpful during grinding. And the last thing that is actually really good, you can walk underwater, which has its own little perks, and it comes in handy sometimes. So ice is really underrated in my opinion. Blade is actually a really underrated fruit. Like for beginners, you need this fruit. Has good moves. The rework is just amazing, bro. This fruit, it makes you immune to all sort attacks. Even if they have haki, you're still immune. And you can also fly, which is really cool. I didn't know you can fly with Blade. Like what? You can fly with Blade. It's super cool. And the best part about it is this fruit has M1s, bro. If you're a Sword main, you need to just equip Blade. Just equip Blade, just for the sake of it, bro. Like it's so good. If you're grinding, you need Blade fruit, man. Blade fruit is really good. Trust me. Like I didn't know Blade was like this. So for magma, obviously it's magma, so it does pretty good damage, and it does some pretty good burn damage. The moves are alright, and it also gives you elemental immunity, which is always a plus. Definitely a good fruit to use. Now for the last fruit, which is Bomb. Now you guys might have not expected this, but I think Bomb is a pretty good fruit to use as a beginner. For example, the moves have a wide range, so the AoE is good. The damage is actually really good, surprisingly, and he has really nice skills. But some of the moves do take away your health, like self-destruct and explosive jump. Explosive jump is also really good because it does damage and you can just move around really quickly. So yeah, Bomb is definitely one of the most underrated fruits in the first CTEs. Alright, so there are a total of 3 fighting styles in the first sea that you can obtain. I recommend you obtain the Dark Step, and if you don't know how to obtain this, you need to head over to the pirate village and come to this spot, and it basically costs you 150,000 belly, and then yeah, you learn it. Getting a fighting style is actually really useful though. But if Dark Step isn't your thing, or you want something else, you can get Electric in the Sky Islands for 500,000. It's smooth, it's fast, overall a really good style. But what I recommend you actually do is you get a Dark Step first, then save up for Water Kung Fu. It costs 750,000 and it can be found at the Water City. That one is also a pretty good pick in terms of fighting styles. So basically, stop using combat as soon as possible, get a Dark Step first, and then either get Electro or Water Kung Fu, depending on literally your choice and how much money you have. And then yeah, and if you have Budha, you can use Budha with Water Kung Fu or Electro, which is just incredibly OP. Alright, now we're moving on to swords. Now, if you could get only one sword in the first sea, make it Saber. It has really good damage, solid moves, and it's literally still good even after you leave the first sea. So a lot of experienced players would recommend this sword for you to use. One of the best parts about swords is the damage per click. Like, this also goes well if you have a fruit that has elemental immunity, like Flame, Ice, Light, all of those fruits. Then you can just walk up to the NPC and then just click, click, click. You can kill an NPC so fast by doing that. Just keep clicking, spamming the M1s. The health goes down so quick. So yeah, Saber is definitely a good pick. Obviously, to get this, you need to do the Saber quest, which you can do at the jungle after you hit level 200. Also, swords are also a one-time buy, so once you have it, you don't need to keep rolling for it like fruits. So that's one of the good sides. So yeah, swords aren't really bad at all in the first sea. You just need to know when they're helping your build and when they're slowing it down. Now it's time to talk about guns. Honestly, guns aren't the main thing you should focus on in the first sea, but they do have its uses. Guns are good for some long range damage, so you can hit enemies from a distance without getting too close. So this can be useful because you can like gather them all up from a safe distance without getting damaged. But the downside is, most guns don't do amazing damage compared to swords and fruits, especially early on. And they also require good aim, so you really have to be precise. The slingshot, you have to be actually precise with your aim. But the Magma Blaster, that actually has some good range. So guns are more like a support option in the first sea, not something you should main if your goal is leveling up fast. Alright, now let's talk about accessories, because this is something a lot of first sea players forget about. Accessories might not look like a big deal, but they actually give you free buffs to your stats like health, energy, and damage. And in the first sea, small boosts like this actually make a big difference when you're grinding. So the good thing about accessories is that once you have them equipped, the boosts are always active, so you don't need any mastery and you don't need to level them up. Some accessories can give you extra damage, more health, and more energy, which makes grinding just smoother overall. But there's some downsides. For example, some accessories are bus straps, so you might just need some luck and patience to get them. And they won't carry you on their own, they just support your build. So just to conclude this, accessories won't make you overpowered, but they definitely make your grind easier. So if you can get one, it's always worth equipping. And that's the end of the video, guys. So thank you so much for watching. I hope this helped you. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you have any questions, please comment down below. Thanks for watching. Peace.